Hi, this is Lynn McCool, and this screencast will discuss the Stock Issues Worksheet, Directions, and Samples. So we use something called the Stock Issues Model to organize our information and so that we can even-handedly present the ideas of both sides of an issue. The Stock Issues Model samples below that I will briefly touch on here are just samples. The first sample is not entirely filled in, but it does give you an idea of how you should be thinking about constructing your analysis and what you should be looking for in the arguments of two sides of an issue. The second sample is relatively complete in its analysis and actually corresponds with the sample outline that I provided in this week's module and also the annotated bibliography. And so in your directions, your policy analysis speech directions, one of the things it asks you to do is to complete this Stock Issues worksheet. You can see as I'm going to scroll through this that all of the blanks should be completed. Now in this first sample that I show you, it's not everything is complete, but the second one is. But all the blanks should be completed. Also, you will roll or insert this Stock Issues Model information into your policy outline. And your policy analysis outline in its final form will be rather long. It could be between 5 and 8 pages long, typed out. And it should be a sentence outline so that you have completely thought through exactly what you want to say. For the delivery of your speech, you would want to consider using some kind of lectern or podium or even a music stand to hold your outline, and this will make it easier for you to facilitate in the transition as you move from one page to another, or even if you are working with your visuals. This speech has visual aids along with it, so it will help you have a place to set that outline. Okay, so let's look at the stock issue sample. So the PPP here stands for the proposed public policy that you are investigating and learning the different sides of the issue. So you have what's called the proponent side and the opponent side. And a stock issues model always starts with a problem statement. And so for this particular person's issue that they were studying, they were looking at childhood obesity. And the problem statement that they devised was both the government and the food and advertising industries agree that there is a problem with childhood obesity. Now, of course, that's not framed in that exact proposed policy statement, but in essence, this was the policy issue that they were looking at. You can see then once you have framed your problem statement, you want to look at causes for that problem, because typically what happens is different sides of the issue will determine different types of causes. And so you can see that the speechwriter here lists a number of causes that the proponents believe to be underlying this problem, and then opponents have their own set of causes. The next thing that you would try to figure out is the cure. In other words, how does the proponent side and also the opponent side of the issue, how do each of these sides determine what the best solution is? How do they want to solve the problem? So that's the cure. And then the cost has to do with not just monetary cost, but it could be cost in human labor or even in human lives, depending upon how drastic the public policy happens to be. So you want to look at all the different kinds of costs, both economic and non-economic. And again, each side will have their viewpoint on how much it will cost to implement their cure. You can see in this second example, this one was handwritten and the person either scanned or took a photograph of the document. And again, this is a different policy topic, so they were talking about taxation. That was the policy that they were looking at and studying. And both of them, he says both sides are a problem, and he actually believes that both the proponent and opponent sides believe the problem is the same problem. And then of course moves into causes, and you can see the causes are different here. Cure, and then cost. And then what you're really looking to see, this was missing on this one, But once you go through the problem, the cause, the cure, and the cost, then what you want to try to do is figure out what's really at the heart of the controversy, because when you figure out what really motivates and drives the issue, that's where the root of the problem actually is. And so when the first set of the problem statement is devised, that's usually something that is more superficial. In other words, it's something that we see as a problem because it affects us societally. But it may not be the true root cause of why we have this problem. And that's what you're trying to actually ferret out. That's what you're trying to uncover, is what is the actual heart of the controversy. And each side may believe that the heart of the controversy is different. So it's your job to figure that out.